This tutorial requires intermediate skills, takes about 40 minutes or so to prep, and about, just over an hour to apply if you are a bit speedy about it. The money we spent went into a few cotton balls, some fake leaves, pipe cleaners, and that's about it. So let's begin prepping by creating our Venus fly trap. Yep, and for that we need that cotton ball, and what we do is simply cut out a little chunk of it, make it look like Pac-Man more or less. Use a knife or any other sharp object, be careful. And when you have a Pac-Man looking thing like that, it's time to paint the mouth red and the rest of the ball green. We are using hairspray colors here, fast and easy. You can of course use any kind of color you have access to. Anything will do. Alright. Bring out those toothpicks, and these are rounded toothpicks, round at both ends. We simply cut those ends off, apply a little glue, stick them in there, and we have perfect yellowish teeth. We do realize that the Venus flytrap usually is a fair amount flatter, but we think this came out pretty cool. So let's create the branches for that trap, and we simply twist together a bunch of pipe cleaners just like this, and then we fold them up and do that twist again. So we have a double twisting going on, making them look like a nice little clingy branch. We did 2 of these. The second one came out cooler, so that's the one we used. There it is. And then we simply glue that Venus flytrap head straight onto that edge there. Spread them out a bit, so it looks like they're going around the ball. Perfect. And while we are busy with the glue, we add a few leaves. Any kind of leaves you can get your hands on. You can probably use real ones, but that's a shame, destroying a plant. So we are using fake ones. There we go. Looking good. And we also add these strings of glue here to make like nasty veins going out in the head of that Venus trap. Look at that. Cool little detail. And then we go in with that same green hairspray color around the base there to sort of mix that green tone into the darker tone of the branch. Next up, it's time to age those teeth there. So we add a little bit of brown at the base of each tooth, bringing them down in color, making them look dirty and well used. In addition to that, of course, our trusty blood. Just a tad bit there on the base of the teeth as well. If you want, you can have some running out on the outside there of that Venus trap. And right after that, you are done with the prepping of that Venus flytrap. You can of course add more leaves and decorate it as you see fit. Now that's gonna eat Ellie, it looks like, yeah. So you can just add a few more details and you're good to go. Next up, we need to create the base on which to stick this little fellow on. First, we add a bit of clay there on the eye to give that prosthetic a bit of distance from the eye. And then we smear on our trusty liquid latex paste. And if you want to know how to make the perfect mix of that paste, simply click the link on top of the screen there for the ultimate guide to that. Alright, so smooth it out a bit with latex on your fingers. And to match up that latex paste with our little branch, we simply push it into the paste. Just like that. Because when we are ready with all this, the branch is actually going to go through the prosthetic and come out on the other side to really sit there properly. Rough up those edges a bit. And to make everything look organic and like this actually growing stuff on our face, we're gonna spritz out that latex paste like little branches from this little prosthetic here, so everything becomes one. So put that paste in a nice little bag like this and just push it out. And if you don't have a face cast, you can do this on a round bowl or on a flat surface as well. Might not be the exact fit, but it will do. Alright, so to dry this prosthetic up really fast, we actually throw it in the microwave oven, a few bursts, 10 seconds at a time. Don't want it to boil or get too hot, but you can actually dry it very fast that way. Make sure you add a little flour on that prosthetic on both sides as you peel it off to make sure it doesn't stick to itself. Take it off, trim it, and make a hole straight through for the branch. A step that didn't end up on film. Something that did end up on film though was Brianna Harrington. Go check out her account, The Beginning, for amazing sculpted creations and colorful art. Would be funny to say I leave you with Ellie, given the nice outfit, but I will not. Anyways, let's protect our eyebrows with some Vaseline here. Just dab on there. Now, this is just a piece of latex that Ellie had laying around. We wanted to add that to protect our eye, but of course you should use a cotton pad if you have one. This is just an extra layer of protection for your little eye there. We ran out of cotton pads, so we took the next best thing there. Alright, there is the prosthetic, and as you see, the branch goes straight through there. And of course, no sharp edges on that side, since the pipe cleaners are bent. It's all soft and fluffy. Alright, so apply the prosthetic with your favorite skin adhesive and slap it on there. And of course, as you know, you have to make funny faces when you do that. Make sure your skin is stretched out and the prosthetic is getting stuck there the way it should. We line those edges with a bit of latex there to make sure it really sticks in place. Next up, let's point our attention to the beauty side of this poison ivy, beginning with foundation. And of course, this is all up to you. What do you want to create on your beauty side of your poison ivy? And on that topic, make sure you follow us on Instagram and check out our newly installed highlighted story shoutouts, where we actually post your recreations every week. And if you want a chance to pop up in that story, be sure to tag your recreations with Ellimacs. Alright, let's focus back on the makeup and Ellie applying that shading there on the cheekbone. Getting the shapes and pow back into that face after the foundation treatment. Guessing we can spring for a little bit of extra color there. Warming it all up. And this being 2018, we need a little bit of a shiny sparkle texture on this as well. And there we go. Those highlighted areas. Alright, there will be no Swedish lesson today, but there will be homework. So the question for you is: Vem är din favoritskurk I Batman? Let us know in the comments. And next up, let's boost those brows a bit with some red tones as well. And we go in with a dash of brown there as well to give it a little bit more punch. Then we clean up those edges a bit and continue on to paint the branch and the prosthetic. No surprise here that we are going for a green base here. Grease-based colors in this case. Get in there, paint all those little crevices and holes and weird shapes. Nice green base, and it's gonna fade out towards the skin tones, so let it do just that as you get closer to the edge. Then continue with that same tone you used for foundation to gently fade the prosthetic out into the skin. And for those nice little branches we created, a bit of brown, a bit of dark green, some nice little mixes there, give it extra dimension, 3D look. And we actually went in and added a few more leaves. Looked like they could fit nicely there. Attach them with a bit of adhesive. Or simply squeeze them in under those branches there. Make them sit really tight and good. And there we go. And to give those prosthetic branches some company, we go in with a brush and add a few more. We also continue to add those painted branches on various places on our skin. Adding a few leaves to get into the green zone even more, and on that topic we also add a bit of green punch to the shading of our face, as well as the neck and collarbones. For added detail, we go in with a bunch of different eyeliners here in brown, turquoise, greenish, and add extra dimension to all those little branches. Also add a few new ones. And not surprisingly, we go for red pow on those lips. And to wrap the whole thing up, we have saved the eyes for last, going in with deep, dark, mushy green-brown tones. Give our eyes some extra punch there. And of course, matching up the rest of the face's brightness with some nice sheen on those eyelids. Popping on a few falsies at the end, and then we are actually done. There we have Poison Ivy. Tell us in the comments what you think about this nice, I wouldn't say scary mix, but it's semi-gory little Venus flytrap thingy, bush beauty creation. I think it came out really nice, and it looks, well, it's basically one of those looks where you can be both beautiful and have that SFX POW alongside of it. A perfect match for a Halloween party, if you ask me. Anyways, we will be back soon with more, and we are trying to up the tempo on the videos here. Sorry for dragging it out for ages between the videos. So we are trying to pick up that pace and serve you up with more good videos as we are closing in on Halloween. The season is soon here. Anyways, have a good one. We love you. Goodbye.